Yeah. Yo, what's up, Chalk and Cheeses? It's Wednesday again, and we are live, baby. I'll tell you what, the week has gone. To be fair, man, like on a personal note, I've had a bit of an up and down week, and then the weather hasn't fucking helped, man. Being like 40 plus degrees, man. Like us English people, we're just not built for that shit. Like we're just not about that life at all. So it's been a bit of a struggle, to be fair. But we are joined live tonight. We have one guest on tonight, so all our concentration is on Prince's Way, and he is all the way from Montreal. We're going to get into his family background as well, because yeah, he just kind of said off air that both parents are from different parts of the world. So one from Morocco and one from the Caribbean. So I want to see if his music style kind of represents his heritage of the Caribbean, especially, and the Moroccan side as well. So it'd be very interesting to hear his music. But yeah, like I say, I've had a bit of an up and down week. It's been a bit of an emotional roller coaster, shall I say, in my family this week. We've had to deal with a loss, and then we've had a gain out of it as well. So and I don't mean financial gain before everyone thinks, oh yeah, fucking hell, someone's died. Yeah. I didn't get paid for shit. If anything, I had to pay for shit. So so yeah, I've had a bit of an emotional roller coaster this week, just on a personal note. But enough of me. Let's get into the Australian stallion, which is the one, the only DJ Charcoal.
Hang on, I look for him over my shoulder. There's no stallion here, man. I'm like a Shetland pony, man. I'm like a little miniature version of a stallion. No, man, it's been crazy, like you said. 40 degrees yesterday, and to put things into perspective, right? 40 degrees over here, it's the hottest it's ever been in the UK, right? And in the UK, houses aren't built for fucking heat. They're built for cold, but they're not built for heat. So we were sitting in like a sauna yesterday, and it felt like it was 50 degrees in here, and we were just like melting away. But yeah, what a weird turnaround today. Literally, it got to about 20 degrees here. So we've gone from 40 degrees to 20 degree drop, man. That's global warming shit right there. But look, I've had a less hectic week than probably DJ Casper. Yeah, just my life, man. It's just crazy up and down. So, but I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to be presenting this show once more again. For those that are joining on Facebook, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. And yeah, we've got a massive artist. And look, if you guys haven't heard of Prince Amine, I'm sure you're going to hear lots more about him, especially after tonight's interview as well, because we're going to pick the brains of this young lad. And when I say young lad, he's out there partying. Trust me, I've seen some videos. But yeah, we want to welcome you to the show, Prince. I mean, you want to give us a little bit of a background about yourself, man. Tell us where you're from. How old are you? For the ladies, if you're a single man. Yeah, you're out partying, man. I know. Look, no disrespect to your lady if you've got one. You know what I mean? You're probably sitting in the background
Yeah.
giving devil eyes at the moment. Just hey, I'm watching you. I'm watching you. But, hey, Prince, welcome to the show, man.
Yes, thank you for having me, guys. Appreciate it. So for those who don't know me, my name's Prince Amin. I live in Montreal, Canada, but my mom's from Morocco, which is in North Africa, for those who are not familiar, and my pops is from Antigua, which is a small island in the Caribbean. And how they met was funny, but we'll get onto that later on. But yes, I'm an artist, upcoming artist, and I'm 22 years old. And don't worry, Mr. Charcoal, I'm single, so I could party as much as I want.
I just want to put it out there as well.
And he does music as well.
Casper's you're a taken man these days, aren't you, Casper?
Always, man. I've been taking for the last fucking 10 years, man.
Do you know what? Your
Yeah,
missus
yeah.
is gonna kill me. She's gonna kill me. We won't talk about my life because my life's hectic. But look, I'm yeah, no, we won't go there. So yeah, look, you obviously mentioned about those influences. You kind of have a parent. Like, I know something, little something about you that obviously our listeners won't know is that your influence came from your father, who was an R&B singer, right?
Yeah, he did soul music, yeah, soul R&B, but like, from back then. My pops is what, 71 now. So you could tell like the music that he used to do was like, Marvin Gaye, James Brown, and all those guys from back then. Feel me? So
Wow.
when I grew up listening to music, it was listening to all the old cats, the OGs from
Really
from
old,
from then.
man.
And
We're not talking
yeah,
about
exactly.
90s R&B. We're talking about like 70s.
Yeah, we're talking about
Yeah,
70s,
yeah,
80s,
yeah. Nice, man. Nice. And
Yeah.
with that, you kind of around that time, did your father, did he kind of mingle with any of those artists? Because I suppose back then R&B wasn't that massive, as it was as
Yeah.
it progressed through the years. So tell me
Yeah.
who you hanged out with.
Well, my pops, he traveled a lot and he met a lot of people. But one of the highlights, I think, two of the highlights was when he was in Georgia. He got to meet James Brown because he had a band. My pops had a band and they would like do opening acts and all that.
Wow.
I never really shared that story, but he showed me a card that James Brown gave to him back in what, probably early 80s, and he kept it to this day. And vintage shit, it's crazy.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, oh damn, okay, that's because I look up to Michael Jackson and Michael Jackson looks up to James Brown, and James Brown to me is like the godfather, grandpa, another level. So saying that actually really hit. That was a fun story. And another story is my pops as well. What he did, he used to write poetry, and he had this book that he published in the late 90s, and actually Michael Jackson got a copy of it
Wow.
the
Oh
time
wow.
he came to Canada. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
fun fact.
So is your dad somebody that like we would all know?
Pardon?
In the music industry, is he someone that we would all know? Is he kind of like, did he make it?
Nah, nah. He never got to that point. Honestly, till this day, I wouldn't know why. I guess he made sacrifices, family and all that.
Yeah.
But I would put him in the bracket of like great entertainers and singers from the old school days for sure. For a fact, he got it unlocked. Yeah.
Nice. And I like obviously your dad being a singer and obviously like him producing music back in the day. Have you ever thought about flipping one of his tracks or sampling one of his tracks in your own music?
Yes.
Oh damn. Hopefully we haven't lost Amine.
How
Hear me?
dare
You still hear me?
Yeah, we can still hear you, man.
All right. Yeah, so basically there's a couple of tracks that he did make back then, and I was like, I'd like to flip it. I already wrote to his engineer like what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I had this idea to do such thing. But yeah, it's not in the works, but it's something that I would like to do in the near future.
cool
Yeah,
stuff.
because sorry, you go, Casper. Yeah, because a lot of artists are starting to do that. Grab songs like, well, it's been done forever. Look at the hip hop songs. Back in
Yeah.
the late '90s, early 2000s, like how many songs were flipped, or how many samples were used from all the old
Yeah.
songs. You have massive artists doing it as well, not just kind of upcomers. Eminem, Dr. Dre, just Snoop. It was just it was crazy. But I got a quick question. Obviously, you speak a bit about your dad. What about your mum? Was she kind of musically gifted, so to speak, or?
Nah, my mom was like, she's more into the dancing and all that stuff. She doesn't sing, she was never into the music. Actually, she cooked. She used to be a cook back then.
Nice.
She used to cook for the royal family of Morocco. She was one of the chefs for
Wow.
them.
Wow.
But no, she was never into the music world. She got into it. She was surrounded by it because of my pops. But other than that, nah. She was really she's just into the cooking. She's to herself. She has her whole little
Hey,
thing.
look, man, the man to a man's heart is through his stomach. So, definitely. Sorry, Casper, I cut you off before.
Yeah, man, I can't even remember what I was going to say now. And it was a really good question. Oh yeah. So what does your dad think of your music? Like like honestly, because obviously like you described him as an old cat now. So like, and
Yeah,
obviously he has progressed through the time. But
yeah.
well, when you've sat down with him and you played one of your tracks for him, like, what is his honest like review been of your tracks? Like, obviously you're his son, so you kind of expect him to be a little bit biased, but is your dad kind of like, no, I don't like this, and no, I don't like that, but I like
Nah.
this?
Yeah, my pops when it comes to music, he's very strict. He's not biased. I'd probably call him like a Joe Jackson kind of, yeah, when I showed him my tracks, he would obviously like judge my voice, and like I wouldn't take it to heart because he's been singing for years, and I'm still developing my voice and all that. But the one time like where I did get his you got this is when I was performing live on stage, and he saw the entertainment part, you know what I mean, the crowd work and me giving my all, and my voice also upgrading from last time I showed him my projects. And yeah, that's when he gave me the nod, and he's like, you got this.
And
And
dude,
getting that for him is like the biggest approval.
have you ever, has anybody ever told you that you kind of look like Chris Brown as well? I swear to God, Charcoal, is it just me, or does this guy look like Chris Brown?
Yeah, a little,
I get that very often, very, very often.
especially with the tattoos, mate. You need a couple of neck
Yeah,
tattoos.
like like I get Chris Brown kind of vibes off of you, and I feel that when you're on stage, like you're dancing around, you're entertaining the ladies, and but then again, I haven't heard your music yet, so like
Yeah,
it's just by appearance.
yeah,
I hope you're good, just by your
yeah.
appearance and the way that you chat. I hope the music's good, man.
I promise I won't disappoint. I won't disappoint for
Ah,
sure.
Oh,
But yeah,
okay.
I'm telling you, when you said you're a hard judge, like I respect that at 110%. But even hard judges would still hats off to a few
okay.
features to somebody's music. You know what I mean? It sounds different and all that.
Hey, Chris
Yeah.
Brown. I mean, sorry, Prince. I mean, um, you released an
But
album.
yeah, I do Brown like.
Well, you released the album quite young, man, 18. Like, how did that feel?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
obviously, you released it when on your 18th birthday.
Hmm.
How did you kind of feel about, like, was it kind of relief that it's out there now, and was you were kind of a bit nervous, obviously being your first album, and
Hmm.
what happened from that time that you released it? Tell us a little bit about that.
Working on the album actually was very fun. It was a lot of fun. It was like my first time ever really being in the studio, seeing how things work and everything with an engineer. And I wasn't really sure of which path I wanted to take because I could rap a little, I could sing. I didn't know what type of music I wanted to do. So the album was kind of like all over the place at the same time. But when it came out, I was nervous due to feedback, but at the same time I was very proud of it because I put a lot of work into it, as when I recorded it I was 17. I was working on it when I was 17, and it dropped on my 18th birthday. And like, for when I listen back to it, I'm like, okay, this is a pretty decent project for the age I was and the experience I've barely had. And from there was this one specific song that popped out more than others.
Mm.
It's called Fantasy, right? So Fantasy is like it was a Haitian compa track. Well, the type beat I'm speaking of, and I was like, oh, I didn't expect for that to pop off more than the rapping and everything. And then I started understanding why, because it's different from what people in the city did, you know what I mean, or
Yeah.
what they heard, especially from my age group and everything. And then I went on and took the path of that type of music from
Yeah.
then on, and then I worked on my craft and everything.
Yeah, because
Other things, yeah.
like you say before, like releasing that first album, how you had a mixture of like your R&B and your rapping on there. That must be quite a hard decision, like which path to take. And it's kind of like you put a little bit of a tester out there for that album to say, okay,
Yeah.
well, which one, which are people going to dig? Are they going to go with the R&B side? Are they going to go with the rapping
Hmm.
side? And that kind of, a lot of people just. I don't know, would just ignore that and just go, you know what,
Yeah.
do what I want. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, you got to please your crowd. There's no point putting out albums and no one listens to them. So
Yeah.
you said, in your bio that you had a bit of a buzz in the Montreal hip hop scene. Were you kind of, when you released that, how did it feel like, people contacting you and listening to that, that feedback? Like, to me, if I released an album and I started getting a little bit of buzz around town, I'd be like, wow, I'm going to jump all over this. I'm just got to go hard with it, push it hard as I can. So how do you feel about that?
I felt pretty good. You know what I mean? It didn't get to my head or, it big up my ego or anything, but it really motivated me to continue doing music and to push harder and to not perfect my craft, but get it a lot better. You know what I mean? Polish it, I would say. And then the people who've been following me from Back Evolution to another extent, and every time I drop a project, they'd be like, wow, you're just getting better and better, and getting messages like that. And also, going around the city and being recognized by people, it's like, yo, that's love. You know what I mean? It's like that hard work is coming to pay off. That feels good.
And for sure, man, like obviously if people are recognizing you and telling you how great you are, then obviously you're doing something right. Whether you're producing the type of music that people like to listen to, or you just have like a complete new sound. By the way, to add to people watching live on Facebook, me and Charcoal, we haven't heard any of this guy's music, so like it's going to be a first for us, literally. So this is why I'm saying if, because we haven't heard it, like, and obviously everybody has opinions and stuff like that. So say for instance, even if I didn't like it, there's a million people out there that will. Do you know what I mean? So but this is why I love doing this show, man. Like, to meet young artists like yourself and to say that if you do get big, like we had him on our show, do you know what I mean? And looking like Chris Brown, man, like you're halfway there already, man. I'm telling you, you're like literally you're halfway there already.
And he's single as well.
Thank you.
No, man.
But Charcoal, I think let's listen to one of Prince's tracks, and then I'm going to delve a little bit more into his life and his heritage and stuff like that. Shall we do it?
Yeah, cool. Let's do it. So you're listening to the Chalk and Cheese. I couldn't even say that. Yeah, listening to the Chalk and Cheese show. Maybe I should go a bit lower. You're listening to the Chalk and Cheese show, all the way from the UK, and this is Prince Amine. Let's go.
Jawan Mix on the beat. Rasim got that sauce in it.
I'm back. I'm back.
I say, hold on, wait a minute, little shorty, I ain't even finished. I was down up in your throat, now I'm deep up in your kidneys. And the way I put it out, she thought we was in the kitchen. I give shit a little taste. She said it was finger licking, yeah. Body shape, nice, body figure eight. Shawty, she not talk nice, but she please. And I give her good dicks and the hottest face. See me rockin' real ice, like she figure skate. I said, no, this is shawty, I want ya. Don't get it twisted, I don't need ya. Kiss on the neck, honey, you're sweet, yeah. Let's get it on and never sleep now. Yeah, you shook her skin sweet, yeah, you shook her skin smooth. Bare body to the beat, they know you're on her own. Yeah, you shook her skin sweet, yeah, you shook her skin smooth. Bare body to the beat, they know you're on her own. I like you, I'm tryna wife you. And if you done it right, then I'ma ride too. I gotta let you go, let me ride you. Oh, where you tryna go, I'ma fly you. Go around the world cause you deserve it. Painted like a picture, girl, you're perfect. Smoke up on the swisher while you slurp it. Lord knows I'm a sinner, keep it shirtless. Tu sais, j'kiffe ça when you put your back in it. Là, reviens vers moi, j'te when I'm back in it. Mommy, I get it, car, she into the fast, living more than a week now. Yeah, you shook her skin sweet, yeah, you shook her skin smooth. Bare body to the beat, they know you're on her own. Yeah, you shook her skin sweet, yeah, you shook her skin smooth. Bare body to the beat, they know you're on her own. I don't know what to do, got too much sauce, too much juice. I'll get a yellow Ferrari just so that I can peek at you. For designer the shoe, she two-step in the loops. Said I'll take you to Paris, we be violent on Philly food. Wanna dance, wanna zouk, Caribbean Ocean we cruise. Now let's kick it in Haiti, parce que chérie t'es vraiment cute. In Jamaica she gon' roll it, rubber reefer she gon' smoke it. And I love the way she took it. Easy no need let me poke it. So wet I had to stroke it. On a shorty to make me forfeit. Yeah, your sugar skin sweet, yeah, your sugar skin smooth. Bare body to the beat, then go draw it on. Yeah, your sugar skin sweet, yeah, your sugar skin smooth. Bare body to the beat, then go draw it on. Yeah, your sugar skin sweet, yeah, your sugar skin smooth. Bare body to the beat, then go draw it on. Yeah, your sugar skin sweet, yeah, your sugar skin smooth. Bare body to the beat, then go draw it on.
Well, okay. Do you know what? I'll go first. I don't know. Casper's not ready. He's not ready. So I'll go first.
I'll tell you what, I'm ready. I am ready to for the instant review, but I want you to go first because
Yeah.
I always tend to go first.
Yeah,
So-
no, it's all right. That's all, oh, look, oh, you know what? I feel privileged now. Maybe I should just let you go first. But look. Okay. When I first heard it, I went, yeah, lovely reggaeton. It was like, but I found that song was more of a grower. I don't know whether Casper agrees with me. It kind of grew on me the longer it went, especially kind of when you brought the rap element into it. I was just like, yeah, it's gone from down here, up here. And then the production was spot on. It was clean. I can't fault the production. With your voice, it came across. With all honesty, I would have liked to hear a more crispness, if that makes sense. Like, to me, it sounded a little bit muffled, and your producer's going to kill me for this. But I would love,
Yeah.
I would love to showcase your voice a lot louder on that track. I think the music kind of took over your voice, and that's no disrespect to your voice. I think if you raised your level, with your vocals, that would have been spot on all the way through. But I love how kind of it flipped it in the middle. It just broke the track up, and yeah, look, great track. You saw me dancing to it anyway. Like,
Yeah,
I said,
thanks. I
it
appreciate
was a grower. It started off like, okay, this is good. Then by the end of it, I was like, yeah, this is really good. So yeah, Casper.
Thank you.
You know what? I love it when artists come on and they say like I'm a reggae artist or like yeah, or they have a Caribbean vibe, because I love it, because they can't bullshit me, because I live there. I've lived in the Caribbean, so I know the music culture and I know exactly how it goes. But yeah, man, I like. I'll just mirror what Charcoal said. Like, the production is bang on. It kind of reminded me of like a Sunday chill spot on the beach with the calypso vibe going on, and it had a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my god. What's the African type of music? It's just
Afro?
yeah, Afro.
Afrobeat.
It was kind of mixed with like calypso and Afro beats, and I was vibing that beat, man, because fire. Now I kind of get I kind of get what Charcoal was saying. The vocals, in my opinion, it kind of needed some sort of backup vocal, whether that's from a female or whatever it was. It kind of needed a little bit of extra body. I would have liked to hear you sing higher on some points as well. Like, I don't know if when you listen back to it, obviously because you produced it and you made it. I don't know if you kind of listen back to your own stuff and you're like, oh, actually, shit, man, I could have gone a little bit higher there, or I could have, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
I feel you.
I wanted to hear your voice more. You know what I mean? Like, you're the shining light of that track. I think the level would have been a little bit louder for me because it was a bit quiet. Like I don't know why, whether you were going for that kind of vibe where
Mellow vibe,
like,
yeah.
lay back, you know what I mean? But for me, like your voice is spot on, man. You just gotta
No.
I mean,
Thank you.
embrace it. You know what I mean? Embrace it.
I mean, as a DJ, I mean, as a DJ and a DJ that's actually DJed in the Caribbean for quite a long period, I DJed there. I can see that song fitting in perfectly, like after midnight when everybody's kind of like chilling out, and then you have a couple wind into it, and they have like a whole new routine and stuff like that, because it kind of took me back a little bit as well to like the Zouk vibe that you get in the Caribbean, like that slow, intimate kind of like music that people can get close to and stuff like that, man. But yeah, like I say, all in all, man, I like the track. Like in the UK, that's going to be a summer banger for sure. That would literally grab people's attention if me and Charco was to play it in our car, especially if I drove to London and I'm playing it in the middle of London. Like people will stop and they'll be like, "Fuck, man, what's this music? Like, who is this guy?" For sure, because it's a sound that you don't hear in the UK very often. Like we have the Afro beats coming through with Ed Sheeran flipping on tracks and stuff like that, but that type of style of music, like I can just imagine myself in London, because that's where I'm originally from anyway. So I can imagine myself in London playing that at any sort of party, and people are gonna be like, "Fuck, man, yeah, I'm vibing to this for sure." Ratings out of 10. Now, like I say, regarding everything, I'm going to do it as a whole package, because I would have liked to hear your vocals go up, and I would like to hear a little bit of backing vocals. I think a female artist would have worked great on that, singing the chorus or just a hook or something like that. All in all, man, I'm going to give you a solid 7.2 on that. For sure, because for me, I was catching a vibe. If I'm moving my hips, you can't see my hips. You don't want to see my hips, because like if I'm moving my hips and you can get my hips moving while sitting down, I'm like, man, there's something about this track. But definitely I'm going to listen back to it again tomorrow.
I think so.
And then I'm going to be like, okay, yeah, man, this guy's onto something. Yeah, but a solid 7.2 from me. For sure.
Thank you. We got DJ Casper in the bag. Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I didn't say it was bad. I just said, look, I wanted to hear your voice a lot more. I felt your voice was a little bit quiet, and the music production kind of took over it a little bit. But maybe that was something that you were looking for, because obviously the music production was all about the dance. It was all about, getting out there on the dance floor. So I understand. How's that track? Like, how's that been kind of responded to from like fans or whether you played it? Like, what's the response been on that track?
On this track, when I released it last summer, it went a lot of it. It wasn't a project, but it was one of the tracks that stood out the most.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was very groovy, very, the fun vibe. And like at the same time, I was mellow when I was singing, and it's very easy to sing along to the hook I'm talking about. But,
that's what got me, really, the hook. It was catchy, and it wasn't overbearing as well. So it wasn't overpowering. It was just smooth all the way through. Look, I'm a fan as well, so don't write me off as yet.
I think in your heart, man, like, if you took that track to Antigua, Barbados, Anguilla, Guyana, or wherever in the Caribbean, like Trinidad, for instance, like, if a DJ was to play your track on the beach, people are going to be fucking winding, dancing, doing that crazy shit. Like, so you're onto something for sure. Now I don't know what it's like over in the US, or sorry, you're in Canada, but I don't know what it's like in Canada. But what's kind of like the Caribbean like community like over in Canada? Like, have they heard it? Have you like? What's their reaction been, man? Like, and especially that, I want to know what your dad's reaction was to that track. Obviously, being born and raised in Antigua, and I've actually been to Antigua as well, so I know how nice the country is. Yeah. So I want to, how has the whole perception been from the Caribbean community, and most importantly, your dad as well? Because obviously, growing up in Antigua, he would have caught vibes like that on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, sure. Yeah, the Caribbean / African community here in Canada is actually very, very, very big, and the response from them is actually overwhelming. Like, I appreciate it by a lot, actually, and for them to approve music that's coming from, you know, their hometown, and, you know, it's like your own people and everything, they're impressed, because, you know, compared to the people that they listen to that are already established, for them to be like, yeah, I'm adding this to my playlist and everything, it's, you know, it's big up. A lot of DJs as well, like Caribbean DJs, like they like my things because it's different from what people in Montreal make, you know. But the Caribbean community is huge. It has a big influence, especially in Toronto. Toronto, they speak with a lot of Caribbean slang, which is patois, just like they do in the UK. But yeah, no, the community is huge. Actually, there's a festival next week. It's called Caravana, which is a huge Caribbean festival with all. It's the carnival basically, with all the countries representing each island, you know. So I'm gonna go there, you know, have my tracks played and all that. But anyways, that's that on the community. On my pops, I will be honest with you guys. It's been my dad moved out to South Africa, and it's kind of complicated getting into contact with him. So he hasn't heard that song.
Oh, yeah. Oh wow. Okay.
To my knowledge, he hasn't heard it. Yeah.
I think you might have to email it over to him or to somebody so he can like,
he's too old for email. I gotta send a picture.
Sounds like my parent.
Yeah, I'm sure there's someone over there that you can email for him to hear it for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
What does your mum think of your music and the type of music that, because hearing that track, you're not talking like, obviously being an R&B singer, like heavily influenced by R&B, like a lot of the R&B singers, they're talking about drinking, and it's a kind of same with like hip hop. They talk about drinking, smoking, women, sex, and everything like that. So obviously hearing that track, you kind of blew all them stereotypes out the window, because even when you Caribbean and reggae and stuff, they're still talking about that sort of shit. So was that kind of like your intention to kind of like be respectful, or do you have a dirty side to your music as well?
So basically, how could I say this? So basically, me growing up in a Islamic Muslim household, you know, due to growing up in Morocco and all that, it was there's a lot of things that we learned that are taboo or sin, right? And so I came up with this project, this concept, called haram. Haram means a sin, you know, in Arabic. And I added the word vibes, so haram vibes, so I have sinful vibes, right? And I released the first volume and second volume, and the whole concept of that type of music that I wanted to release, it's Afro, the Zouk and everything, but at the same time, the way I deliver the message is in an elegant way and not derogatory towards a woman or too explicit. There are some songs where, you know, you hear it, you're like, oh, what did he say? But it's not that crazy, because a lot of parents of my friends, close people and all that, they love the music, you know what I mean? Even though I'm saying some things, you know, it slides because I'm not cussing, I'm not saying anything too crazy, you know what I mean? Like, I play with the words, you know. The song we just played, for example, like I started saying, hold on, wait a minute, little shorty, I ain't even finished. I was down up in your throat, now I'm deep up in your kidneys. You know, that's kind of, like, that was like the extremist thing, you feel me? But then as it goes on, you know, I still always talk about, you know, treating the girl nice, taking her out, you know, it's not like you're a bitch, you're a slut, this, that, you know, that's I keep it elegant at the same time. And
I'll tell you what, Prince, you're kind of like a woman's dream. You're 22. You kind of okay. Now I see your face a little bit more. You don't look like Chris Brown. You're looking more like Trace.
Craig
you're
David.
kind of looking a bit more like Trey Songs now. But you're 22,
Yeah.
you're single, you look like Trey Songs, and you do music, and you don't slag off women. What the fuck? Like, there's have to be something wrong with you. There has to be like some secret or something, man.
The missus.
For sure.
The missus at all. You know what?
Oh,
He's
man.
happy. Like, oh, fuck it. Casper, what were you doing when you were 22?
Yeah, what are you
You
doing? What were
don't
you up
want
to?
to know.
Tell
You
us.
don't even want to know what I was doing
Yeah,
when I was
exactly,
22.
exactly.
But
So-
still, that was kind of like my gap year of being single. So I was single from 22 to 23, and then I've been taken for the last 10 years. So,
Wow.
and I don't know how she puts up with me. I really, really, really don't. But obviously, we're doing something right now. So, but yeah, man, come on, Prince. I know you're not as clean as what you're being perceived to be, man. There has to be that side. Everybody got that side to them.
Yes,
Everybody.
like,
Honestly, I'm I'm very open when it comes to like these things, you know, and a lot of things I say in my music is either has happened, you know what I mean, and I'm truthful about it, or it's just a fantasy at the end of the day. But I like those who know me, like they know the type of person I am, and like that's just how I am, you know what I mean? Like before I was very shy and I didn't know how to talk to women or like, you know, communicate. You know, I still got to work on communication and everything, but you know, from time I learned how, you know, to be a lot more laid back and be the better man, you know.
do you know what?
That's it.
I love that title of you know. Can you say that the title of your album again? The Sinful.
Yeah, Haram vibes.
I love how you've come up with that concept because you've just tapped into a totally different market as well. So that's very, very clever what you've done. You know, because you've tapped into that Muslim community that probably wouldn't listen to that music. You know what I mean? So that whoever came up with that concept, like hats off to them. That's
Thank you,
quite
appreciate it.
No, definitely. Sorry, Casper.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, man. Like, obviously, you said that you play with words and stuff, and I'm not a zombie to the Muslim community either, because my partner, her dad's from Palestine, so so obviously I'm not like a zombie to that. So when you said haram, I knew what you meant straight away. But yeah, man, like obviously, I wish there was more artists like you that come through on this show, because obviously you are very playful with words, obviously, whether it's intended or not. But like Charcoal said, whether you've intended to tap into kind of like the Muslim communities and everything like that, whether you meant to do it or not, you've done it just by using one word. You know what I'm saying? Because of Muslim, look at your album title and go haram, or fucking hell, I'm definitely gonna listen to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to that. You know what I'm saying? But whether you meant to do it or not, it's done now. So like obviously you're obviously a very smart young man, because obviously the way that you play with your words and you do shit. And obviously I've only heard one track, so we're going to get into the second track in a moment, so I can kind of really judge what you're all about. But yeah, but so far so good, man. I can't really, I can't dislike you. I just can't at the moment. I don't know how you're feeling, Jocko, but at the moment, man, this guy is literally doing everything
like,
right.
Clever. You know what? We meet some very interesting people on this show, and this is what I keep saying every single week. Why aren't these people signed up to a record label? Because obviously a smart dude, 22, he's a good-looking guy. You know, obviously he knows his way around music. He's got a really good heritage of music. I just don't know why people aren't signing it. This is where we come back to the saturated factor, where the music at the moment is so saturated, and if you don't have lots of money, you're fucked. Sorry to swear, but literally, you know, you've got to put money into marketing. You've got to pay a publicist. You've got to pay, you know, a team around you. You know, sometimes you get done by record labels. They rip the shit out of you. It's hard. It's a tough business, and you know, we are not naive, because we've worked with record labels. We know what it's like, and we know how tough it is out there. And every single show we have, I don't think we've had one artist that isn't talented on this show. And we just keep scratching our head going, fucking hell, it's so hard. You know what you should do, man? Just sell up, pack up, come over to live in the UK or go to another country, go live in Europe or something for a year and push your shit out there. Because if you were saying, Montreal or Canada, if it's not working for you, it could work somewhere else. Or even, don't even have to move, man. You just push it, like via social media these days, like to those countries. We are, like I've said to Casper on many occasions, we need to tap into the Chinese market, China, because one of the biggest countries, big populated country in the world. Imagine if we took over there, we'll be like fucking superstars. You know what I mean? But until you get into that, until you explore, you don't know. You don't know. But like I said, man, you're a good-looking young guy, and let's listen to the second track before I start dribbling so much shit. It's one of them nights, man. Tell me about it.
It's hot and sticky in the UK.
Hot, man. It's hot. It's hot. You know what? I'm drinking. It's hot, and the more I drink, you know, I should be saying your title, man. I'm sitting in it at the moment. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's do this track right now before I get in trouble. Let's go.
Top one. You wanna hear me opinion? That a child forever. Jit, I make jit, let me fly you in a jit, in a jit, slow when I make you sweet, you go sweet, home, I'm a little baby, my baby. Jit, I make jit, let me fly you in a jit, slow when I make you sweet, you go sweet, home, I'm a little baby, my baby. She got a pretty face, so slim waist, so Shawty don't speak no Spanish, but she's el fuego. We all about that jit, hablamos pesos. I walk back, but yeah, we met in Lagos. You know I'm a bad boy, even the nice guys. Don't say I warn you, I hear you willing to try. I said, girl, you know I want you, won't text it cause you're my type. Smoke your back, I want my wood, now I got you all types of high. You wanna hear me opinion, no. I speak a little French, let's Brazil, girl, baby, toi t'es mignon. Ouais, t'es mignon. We all about that jet, let's show it, let's go make millions. Jit, I make jit, let me fly you in a jit, slow when I make you sweet, you go sweet, home, I'm a little baby, you my baby. Jit, I make jit, let me fly you in a jit, slow when I make you sweet, you go sweet, home, I'm a little baby, you my baby. Whoa, yo, take it easy, slow down. Let we kick it like FIFA. If you's a teaser, I'll please you. We gon' fly to pizza with pockets full of jit. Girl, I can't wait to see you and have you soaking with. Knock that cookie down just like dominoes. I want a slice of that, and your mama knows. Said I'll put you in Gucci because I'm proud of you. We get that paper like Lucy, that's just how it goes. You wanna hear me opinion, no. Blossom up and get red one. This time, baby, let's just get it on. You all about that jet, let's shorty, let's go make millions. Jit, I make jit, let me fly you in a jit, slow when I make you sweet, you go sweet, home, I'm a little baby, you my baby. Jit, I make jit, let me fly you in a jit, slow when I make you sweet, you go sweet, home, I'm a little baby, you my baby. You want that jail, we make money, baby. You want that jail, let's make money, baby. You still a honey, baby. You wanna hear me opinion, no. Making that jail with you is the only thing I really want. Oh, you about that jail, let's show you, let's go make millions.
No.
Wow.
You know what? Yeah, I actually had to get up to get a drink, man, because the fuck. Yeah. Prince, let me tell you something. Wow. Fucking better than the first track, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I could hear your vocals more. The volume on your vocals turned up. I tell you who you kind of reminded me of. Okay, I'll give you two artists. Okay. So the beat reminded me of a song by Egyptian called Wine Slow. It kind of gave me that kind of vibe. And then the vocals kind of reminded me of kind of like a little bit of popcorn. I'm not even gonna lie,
Oh,
like it
yeah.
just a little bit, not as
Respect.
hard, not like it's not the harder side of popcorn, but it was
Yeah.
like the kind of like softer side of it. But then again, I heard Egyptian in your voice as well. So whether they're two kind of artists that you kind of listen to from the Caribbean, like
Yeah, for sure.
that's the kind of vibe that I was getting, man. The track, the hook, like when you said drip, drip, yeah, man, that was just kind of like, yeah, for me, it was kind of like easier to listen to. Like when I heard it, and even before the beat dropped, and I heard like the cymbals in it, like building up to the drop, I was kind of like, yeah, man, I know for a fact that you're gonna dance to this track even before the beat even dropped. You know what I'm saying? Does it sound similar to the first track in the production? A little bit. I'm not moaning about that shit though, man, because if it's a vibe, it's a vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's another summer vibe. Obviously, I'm gonna rate this track a lot more than the first track. Mate,
Thanks.
you know what? I'm kind of Choco. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm kind of edging to a 10, but I'm not gonna give you. I'm not, but the thing is, I won't even give you a 10 because I need you to stay grounded. But
Always,
that track
always.
for me, that track for me, man, at least a 9.4, at least a 9.4, man, because and that's without giving the 10. Like I went in the lower half of the points, but like over 9.4, I could have given you a 9.7 or 9.8, but that's too close to 10. But yeah, the track, the track for sure is a vibe. It got me, it got my ears pinged up. I could see Charcoal. He was nodding his head and everything like that. But yeah, man, solid.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I have to replicate everything that he said. It was one of those songs where literally, as I said, that track before it, your vocals didn't shine through that, but that one there, obviously you could hear every word, and I just found that track a lot easier on the ear to hear. I'm with Casper. Everything he kind of said, as I said, it was one of those tracks where you just kind of sit back in the beach, vibe to, and just relaxing. And if you want to get up and dance, you can get up and dance to it as well. So you kind of had that little bit of element. But one thing I wanted to ask you as well, you do you use kind of your Moroccan influences into your tracks? Do you kind of use a kind of native tongue in some of your tracks? Because we interviewed a guy from Australia who was Somalian, and it was, he rapped in Australian, well, English, and it was hard to hear kind of his vocals, kind of hard to hear his, because he obviously only lived in the country for a very short time. We said to him, have you ever tried targeting kind of your country, where you're from, because obviously they'd have a pretty big population, and mix it up a bit, so have half English, half Sudanese. And you know what, after that he just went, yep, he did it. He like started producing tracks, and now he's bigger over in his home country than what he's in Australia. It's crazy. Have you ever thought of that?
Ever since I started, I had a tendency of always mixing cultures, the cultures I grew up around. So I would, the way I would go with it is I would sing in that specific language. So in Morocco, we speak Arabic, So I'd put some Arabic lyrics, French also. I learned French when I came to Canada, but in Morocco, they speak French as well. So I'd mix the two of them together, because when I speak with my moms, it's Arabic and French. Also the Spanish, since I add a lot of Spanish when I sing in my songs, because I grew up in Spain, actually, in Marbella, and that's where I learned my Spanish from, and I'm very close to that culture, and I have a lot of Latino friends here in Canada, so I englobe everything, but it's mainly English, because English is my first language. English is English.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, like, just going back to that track, I can imagine like an older couple dancing to that on the beach as well. So it don't only appeal to the younger audience. You could be 16 and you can catch a vibe with it. You could be 20, catch a vibe, 30, catch a vibe. You can also be like 60, 70, catch a vibe off it, because you're like old people in the Caribbean. It doesn't matter like what music it is. If they're catching a vibe, they're dancing to it. It's as simple as that. So
Solid
like,
truth, man. Solid.
but have you ever, obviously we've heard that kind of Afro beaty side of you, calypso side of you, and stuff like that. Have you ever thought about like producing like a lovers rock track or anything like that, like a reggae track, like reggae lovers rock, and you just spill your heart into that? Because obviously listening to your second track, like you definitely have the voice for a reggae produced track. Or is it kind of like the calypso kind of Afro style that you predominantly want to stay with?
I've already thought about doing, that the reggae type music as well that you spoke of. The only way I said I would do that project is if I stay somewhere in Jamaica or in the islands for like 3 months, surrounded by different types of artists, people that, you know what I mean? So not only I get the slang and everything, understand the culture a lot more, I could produce that, you know what I mean? A lot of the music, why I have it, that's another song of mine. But why my music sounds like what it sounds like is because it's from experience, you know what I mean? My everyday living. So I understand each culture. I could talk about things because to me it's like it's in the palm of my hand, it's in my heart, it's in my blood, So yeah, I would be looking forward to touching grounds with a lot of different types of music. But yeah, reggae is one of them.
Yeah, man, because we actually know an artist in Hawaii. His name is Joseph Soul. Now, I don't know if you've heard of Joseph before, but he got into the last 4 of The Voice US. Wow. He is a very, very, very talented guy, and he's a very soulful R&B singer, but also he kind of connects like reggae with the Hawaiian vibe. But I think with used to hooking up on the track, especially on the track that you kind of produce, man, I think it could be something great. So like I definitely kind of like give him a follow on Instagram. His name is Joseph Soul, and yeah, Joseph Soul, and yeah, man, I don't know about you, Charcoal, but Joseph kind of just popped into my head straight away, like regarding like what could be.
Yeah, I think Prince, I mean, he's kind of covers both of those areas. He can do R&B, and he can also do, hip hop and rap. So it'd be hard to kind of introduce someone into that. If you're gonna do that, I think what you said before on that first track is maybe get a female on the track. It'd be hard to kind of bring another guy on a track and not make it sound the same, so to speak. You want that different element, so maybe bring a female element onto there, and we've interviewed so many kind of really good female artists as well. So
we know Butterfly Nay, Kiami. How about Kiami with Prince? Kiami would be kind of perfect with Prince.
Yeah, she's an R&B singer as well, Kiami. As you heard, I just played a little bit of a snippet of one of the tracks, and I think we've got a little bit of time to play another track. What do you reckon, Casper?
Yeah, let's get it, man. I want to hear it. Like, if you have a whole album, Prince, send it over, man. I'll just listen to it, man, while doing the chores around the house.
You.
Yeah,
I got you.
So let's play this track. Hopefully everyone can hear it at home, because I'm playing it straight off his website. This guy's big, man. He's got his own website. Wow. Come on, let's go.
Problems and I can't stop. Yeah, I was just that I put it right. More money, more problems, and no, I can't stop them. Yeah, I was your main nigga, but you was surrounded. Let it rain, nigga, cause my thoughts be clouded. Oh, darling. Yeah, I said more money, more problems, and no, I can't stop them. Yeah, I was your main nigga, but you was surrounded. Let it rain, nigga, cause my thoughts be clouded. Oh, darling. Ran out of time on my rollie, so I had to give me a petty, yeah. They died of the child, saying Prince, she was never gon' have shit, yeah. This money gon' pile, my nigga, so watch it reach into the Eddie, yeah. I'm on some fire, my nigga try to tell me, boy, you can match it, yeah. I'm with a shawty, and she ride a shawty. I forget cause she wanted a cocky, so I got a party. I said, baby, don't give me no sloppy, cause no one can top me. On my throne, me talk my shit. I call these shots like my phone's a blick. I'm delayed, but I never slow me, that's on me. I don't want you to blow on me. I was down bad on my dick, now I'm rich. You claim that we homies, I ain't tryna boost your ego. Money the root of evil. This here change, that's ever change. You see the change of people. More money, more problems, and you know I can't solve them. Yeah, I was your main nigga, but you was surrounded. Let it pour, let it rain, nigga, cause my thoughts be clouded. Oh, darling. Yeah, I said more money, more problems, and you know I can't solve them. Yeah, I was your main nigga, but you was surrounded. Let it pour, let it rain, nigga, cause my thoughts be clouded. Oh, darling. My shawty real pretty, yeah. You know my bitch bad, nigga. Let's run up some digits, yeah. And carry them big bags with you. I'm talking about Gucci, talking about powder. My little baby, my little mama. When can I see you? She said tomorrow. I'm trying to eat you up in the shower. Would you believe me if I said I still loved you? She's like, Prince, come and please me, cause I miss how you fucked too. Laugh, drink, and get high. No one's worse than a bubble. Told you everything's alright, and we started to cuddle. Saw the tears in your eyes at the piece of that puzzle. Remember mama seeing you like, boy, stay out of that trouble. You told me love is blind, now I know that's the truth. I'll do right by mine, I will repeat after you. More money, more problems, and you know I can't solve them. Yeah, I was your main nigga, but you was surrounded. Let it pour, let it rain, nigga, cause my thoughts be cloudy. Oh, darling. Yeah, I said more money, more problems, and you know I can't solve them. Yeah, I was your main nigga, but you was surrounded. Let it pour, let it rain, nigga, cause my thoughts be cloudy. Oh, darling.
Well, I got to review first. So,
Yeah, man.
don't kill me, but to me, and you know, this is perfect for coming from where you are. That track sounded like a Justin Bieber track, right? That's kind of no disrespect to you. You know where I'm going with this one. It was like him basically stripping everything back with the strings, and you know, him playing guitar, because he was obviously a talented guy. I that was probably my favorite track out of all three so far.
Wow,
The
that's crazy. Wow.
type of difference between the vocals. So I think you had three different elements. So literally, you took it to the soft side where you stripped everything back, and you just kind of heard your vocals. You obviously had the rap element, and then you just had, you know, you straight R&B vocals. And look, that one is going to be a repeat for me. It's
Thank you.
it was absolutely sublime, perfect.
Thank you. Thank
You know what?
I appreciate it.
Like, I kind of get where Chalco's coming from with kind of like, I think when you hear that track, and he says Justin Bieber, I think he's got "Love Yourself" in his head, in the back, because "Love Yourself" is kind of very guitar-y, isn't it, with Ed Sheeran and stuff like that. Mate, when I heard it, yeah, fucking hell, you know when you first listen to a track here, and you listen to the intro, and you can just tell it's going to be a fucking straight banger before any vocals are spat on it, before the beat drops, mate, you've just shut down. You just shut down the internet. The only time I've got kind of excited about an R&B artist was once before on this show. Like, I'm excited to hear more R&B from you, and he is my favorite R&B artist. He goes by the name of Rhymes, who's been on this show. Mate, I think you're kind of there. You will definitely match him toe for toe for sure. And he's older than you as well. He's in his late 20s, but still, I like your R&B element. I like it a lot, because some people, like with this guy called Rhymes, he's trying to bring R&B back. He's bringing that sexy back, like with like original kind of like an Usher sound or a Trey Songz sound, Neo sound when they first started in the game. You've just come in, you've opened the door, and you're like, okay, I'm Prince, I'm here, this is the shit that I can do, mate. Like, you know what, I was listening to the track and I was trying to think of an artist, because it does remind me of a track, but I just can't think of it off the top of my head. Don't worry, it's not a Justin Bieber track, it isn't. But yeah, I like it a lot. I like that track a lot. And again, even though it's kind of like the slower side, it's still a summer vibe. I don't know about or how you feel about it, Charcoal, but you could play that at a barbecue and like you be jamming, like literally, like people will be dancing. Mate, you are perfect for females. You are perfect for females. And I know you're a respectful guy, but I'm not so much. I'm too old to be respectful. But mate, you will get girls dripping for sure. Like just take Cardi. Just take Cardi. You're gonna need a bucket and a mop. Yeah. That's what you're gonna need because I believe, and you probably notice it anyway when you're performing live. You probably notice it that a lot of female, you probably get a lot of female attention. No,
Yeah, I have a lot of people that do appreciate my music when I perform live
hey, you
on
can
stage.
be.
Yeah.
I mean, you can be honest. Forget the music. I'm talking about you.
When I perform on stage, when I perform on stage,
Yeah.
yeah, people they go crazy. Yeah.
Exactly. And I guarantee if you took your top off, because I can see that you're a fit lad, it will just shut. Like, there's no point in any other artist coming on the show because it's the great performers do it, mate. Look at Usher. He's been doing it for years. Trey Songz, man. As soon as he even lifts his top up a little bit, girls are going crazy for him. But the good thing is, though, mate, you're just
Yeah.
not a good looking guy. Like you produce music to back it up as well. So you don't rely on your looks at all, man. The music just says everything for you. And that's what
Thank you.
if I was you and if I was in your position, I'll be tapping into females. Plug it, plug it, plug it, plug it, plug it. Just get it plugged by females. The more females
Yeah.
hear it, man. Trust me.
Yeah.
I think you'll explode. Like literally explode.
Yeah.
So Prince, what's coming up for you in the future? Obviously, you drop your latest album. What's coming up for you, mate?
Yeah. The song J that DJ Casper almost gave me a 10 for. That was my single. I dropped it. It's been 2-3 weeks. It's a new single. And right now I'm focusing on the Afro. So I'm working on an Afro album and I should be releasing a single within the next month, an Afro single. And yeah, I'm gonna send you guys the exclusive to it for sure. But yeah, I'm working on an Afro album. That's what I'm doing. Focusing on only Afro. I'm not going dance hall and everything, just focused on one path. But with my voice, I will still bring that, that different type of vibe. And also trying to focus on doing shows and everything. And we've been talking about going to the UK and everything. It's just we don't really have contacts like that over there. But now, we got you guys and everything. But yeah, we're looking forward to traveling and making music and going worldwide for show.
Well, the thing is, Prince, we're not just a podcast. We are promoters and we do everything. So we're actually working with a young band in the UK at the moment, and we're getting them gigs left, right, and center. So we're trying to get them really, really established.
Wow.
You get over here, I guarantee we get you a gig, whether it's going to be in London or Manchester or Leeds or wherever it may be. We will get you. So if you're ever over here on a holiday, hook us up and for sure, man, we can get you plugged up for sure.
We'll tap in for sure.
No, definitely.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, look. Sorry to throw that third track in. Obviously, we only play 2 tracks, but because you're going solo tonight, and I'm glad I listened to it because that was my favorite track anyway for that one. Yeah, guys, thank you everyone for watching on Facebook. It's been an absolute pleasure having Prince Amine on. We're going to stay connected anyway. What we'll do, we'll put your songs on our website, so for everyone to hear. This will go out to all. It'll be on YouTube, so this interview will go on YouTube, and we stay connected with all of our artists, so we pretty much stalk you all the way through your music career. So no doubt we'll stay connected after the show. So it's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you for coming on, Casper.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, and that's another show. That's a wrap. Big thank you to Prince Amine from Montreal. Massive respect and fantastic music, man. Just keep up on that grind, and I'm sure that you're gonna be there. You're gonna be there. You're 22. You got time. Literally, you got time. But yeah, that's it, guys, for another edition of the Chalk and Cheese Show for this week. Of course, we are back each and every Wednesday, 8 p.m. 8:30 p.m. UK time.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's how we're gonna get down. Oh, man, he just threw me off massively. But yeah, guys, don't forget, check out our Facebook page, the Chalk and Cheese Show, Instagram, Chalk and Cheese Show, and the website as well, www.chalkcheeseshow.com, where we also have a radio station on there as well. We have the Chalk and Cheese radio station on there where you can hear all the unsigned artist tracks on repeat 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And then you can also catch up on all the other interviews that we have done in the past, including Surviving R. Kelly with Lizette Martinez, and obviously probably one of the biggest interviews that we've ever done with Robbie Takak from the Goo Goo Dolls, the founder and bassist of the Goo Goo Dolls. But that's enough of us and bragging and what we've done. We just let the show do the talking for us. But yeah, guys, until next time, please try to be safe in this heat in the UK. It's still very hot. It's cooler, but it's still very hot and still very sticky. So keep hydrated. Remember your sun cream and all that jazz. I'm not anybody's dad, but I just thought I'll fucking throw it in there anyway. Yeah, guys, but until next week, take care, and we will see you then.
My life.
I put that on my mama, that be dangerous. Got her, that's some love, cause she saying